So I recently got asked about the right hand of Doom, specifically about the palm, how I did it, um, what was my process doing it, and if I have any tips. So I thought I made a small video trying to explaining my creative process tackling this project. First things first, you have to draw it out. You know, the forearm was easy. I just drew it out and I kind of sketched out a rough estimate of how big the hand needed to be. After that, I tried to break it down into smaller pieces. So I noticed that the palm itself had two pieces, which would be the thumb or the thumb muscle and the palm itself. Now the palm itself had to have that curve so the thumb fits nicely, and you also needed to have this flat area on top where the rest of the fingers would sit. Now once I had that figured out, I did a drawing of how it would look from the top. Now this top drawing helped me to make the base and the bottom layer, right? And figured out roughly how it should look like. Now once I got that, I didn't really know what to do, so I figured maybe I should just make it hollow. I would just put foam all around it just like that and just close it so it makes a nice hollow palm. Now what I did for that, and I used as a guide, is I did this little structure inside where I will put the finger foam, the part of the foam that will hold the fingers as a base, so I know from where to where it needs to be connected. Now that was one of the hardest parts because I had to like really fight with the foam and try to get into the right shapes, and there was a lot of sanding and stuff like that. Now the thumb was a little bit more straightforward. I just grabbed a whole bunch of foam and I stuck it together and made myself kind of like a cube, right, of just foam. I just sanded the surface from it, trying to have it as smooth as possible, and I just sanded away all the extra until I had a shape that I was happy with. Now, one of the things that was really difficult is trying to get that specific shape, because since this was very intuitive, you know, I just tackled it, I just did it, and I didn't thought about it too much. There was a couple of issues, you know, like foam didn't fit well in certain areas, so I had to use some filler for that, and I had to sand down the surface so the seams are not as noticeable, especially on the sides. Now, in the thumb area, that was the hardest part because it had to fit almost perfectly, and that was really hard to do. Other than that, it was just very straightforward. You know, it was just the circles for the knuckles, and the fingers is just little squares that you just put together. As a side note, you should put something at least on the bottom of the fingers, you know, to give it a little more sturdiness, if that's the word, you know. But other than that, that was pretty much it. Like I said, the arm was pretty straightforward. It's just a tube with foam on top of it, and weathering is just simple. Hope that was helpful, guys. See you next one.